beautiful morning to you and welcome to Business Insight, where we bring you business updates, currency market trends, stocks, commodities and related issues. I am Alfreda Ambe-Bassi. We begin our news stories from Nigeria. The federal government of Nigeria has unveiled the anticipated cost for converting petrol vehicles to compressed natural gas (CNG), ranging between 300,000 naira and 600,000 naira. This was stated by the CEO of Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative Steering Committee, Engineer Michael Oluwagbemi, following the official commissioning of CNG conversion centers in Lagos. Oluwagbemi outlined plans for apologize for the break in transmission due to some technical glitches. A beautiful morning to you and welcome to Business Insight, where we bring you business updates, currency market trends, stocks, commodities and related issues. I am Alfreda Ambe-Bassi. We begin our news stories from Nigeria. The federal government of Nigeria has unveiled the anticipated cost for converting petrol vehicles to compressed natural gas (CNG), ranging between 300,000 naira and 600,000 naira. This was stated by the CEO of Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative Steering Committee, Engineer Michael Oluwagbemi, following the official commissioning of CNG conversion centers in Lagos. Oluwagbemi outlined plans for 10,000 CNG workshops nationwide, with the government aiming to start local assembly of CNG conversion kits, which will also provide job opportunities of over 250,000 through the CNG initiative. He highlighted discounts, flexible payment options, and potential investments exceeding $2 billion. A new Juniper research report has established that AI implementation in identity verification will cut average digital onboarding time for banks from 11 to under 8 minutes by 2028, driven by growing smartphone use in developing regions. The accuracy of AI reduces human reviews and photo retakes, lowering verification time and costs. It is also seen as crucial in countering threats like synthetic identity fraud. Despite increased efficiency, total spending by banks is predicted to rise from $7.4 billion in 2023 to $9.9 billion in 2028, with developing countries experiencing robust growth. Nigerian banks like Zenith, Fidelity, UBA, Access, and Heritage leverage AI for personalized customer experiences, employing chatbots like Ziva, Ivy, Leo, Tamada, and Octopus. And moving to the next story, the International Energy Agency, IEA, has revised its oil demand growth forecast for 2023 and 2024, challenging expectations of a global economic slowdown. The adjusted 2023 growth forecast is 2.4 million barrels per day, closer to OPEC's 2.46 million barrels per day, and for 2024, it raised the forecast to 930,000 barrels per day, still below OPEC's 2.25 million barrels per day. Despite projections of economic deceleration, the IEA anticipates the voluntary supply cuts from Saudi Arabia and Russia will maintain supply tightness until the end of the year. While the demand growth is expected to slow, the market could shift into surplus at the beginning of 2024. Resilient U.S. deliveries and record-breaking demand from China in September provide support for 2023. The IEA therefore warns of potential market imbalances and increased volatility due to economic and geopolitical risk. Meanwhile, Brent oil prices have retreated to around $82 per barrel from their September peak, influenced by concerns about economic growth and demand, despite OPEC supply cuts and Middle East tensions. And now the Qatar Government Communications Office has announced the commencement of the Web Summit 2023, and the country is participating to showcase its tech capabilities in Lisbon, Portugal. His Excellency Sheikh Jassim bin Mansour bin Jabor Al Thani, the Director of the Government Communication, leads a delegation expressing Qatar's aspiration to host the conference in the region. According to the announcement, this is aimed at spotlighting its technical infrastructure while positioning itself as a global tech hub. He stressed the event's importance for Arab youth, framing it as an investment in talent and technology. Qatar's thriving business environment and strong GDP growth add to its appeal. Following the success of the recent FIFA World Cup, Doha is set to host Web Summit Qatar in 2024 from 26 to 29 February at the Doha Exhibition and Convention Center, expecting 7,500 participants. And away from that, Goldman Sachs predicts that the global economy will exceed expectations in 2024 with a forecast expansion of 2.6%, surpassing the 2.1% consensus forecast. The U.S. is expected to lead developed markets with an estimated growth of 2.4%. The Investment Bank believes that the impact of monetary and fiscal tightening policies has largely subsided. To combat rising inflation, the U.S. Federal Reserve initiated a robust rate hike campaign in March 2022. While Fed Chair Jerome Powell expressed uncertainty about addressing inflation, Goldman Sachs suggests that policymakers in developed markets are unlikely to reduce interest rates before the second half of 2024 unless economic growth is weaker than anticipated. Goldman Sachs anticipates a continued decline in inflation in 2024, with sequential core inflation predicted to fall from 3% to an average range of 2 to 2.5% across the G10. The bank also expects a recovery in global factory activity in 2024, overcoming challenges from a weaker than expected rebound in Chinese manufacturing, European energy crisis, and inventory corrections. The positive growth outlook is attributed to rising real income, supporting consumption and GDP growth. Goldman Sachs sees limited recession risk and maintains a 15% U.S. recession probability. Despite ongoing rate hikes and fiscal policy impacts on G10 economies, the bank is confident that the worst of the drag is already over. We'll take a short break and return with stock, commodities, and market trends. Stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us. At the end of Tuesday's trading session on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, NGX, a total of 327,426,214 shares were traded in 6,533 deals. This corresponds with a market value of 3,368,813,682 naira and 85 kobo. Compared to the previous NGX trading day, which was Monday, Tuesday's data shows a 31% decline in volume, a 57% decline in turnover, and a 14% decline in deals. The current market capitalization of the Nigerian Stock Exchange is 38.9 trillion naira. In total, 121 equities listed on the NGX participated in trading, concluding with 35 gainers and 17 losers. Northern Nigeria flour mills led the gainers, experiencing a 10% share price appreciation and closing at 19.80 naira per share. Following closely were Mekyo Industries, C&I Leasing, and Living Trust Mortgage Bank. On the losing side, Red Star Express recorded the largest decline with a 9.76% end-of-day price depreciation at 2.96 naira per share. This was followed by FTN Cocoa Processor, Mutual Benefits Assurance, and Cavitin Offshore Support Group. Japol Gold and Ventures led in volume with 44.7 million shares traded, followed by Fidelity Bank, United Bank for Africa, and Owando. And at the close of Tuesday's trading session on the Malawi Stock Exchange, a total of 18,284 shares were traded. This corresponds to a market value of 1,271,372,862.09 Malawian kwacha. Compared to the Monday's MSE trading day, Tuesday's data shows a 74% improvement in volume and a 230% improvement in turnover. The current market capitalization of the Malawi Stock Exchange is 6.13 trillion Malawian kwacha. In total, 12 equities listed on the MSE participated in trading, concluding with 2 gainers and 4 losers. The 2 gainers were Standard Bank Malawi and FMB Capital Holdings. On the losing side, Etel Malawi recorded the largest decline with a 0.91% end-of-day price depreciation at 97.15 Malawian kwacha per share. This was followed by FDH Bank, National Insurance Company Holdings, and NBS Bank. Icon Properties led the volume with 4 million traded shares, followed by NBS Bank, FDH Bank, and FMB Capital Holdings. And we turn to the commodities market, where a single unit of wheat is priced at 580.50 US cents. Gold is currently trading at 1,960.89 US dollars, silver at 23.15 US dollars, copper at 3.70 US dollars, and Brent crude oil is valued at 83.69 US dollars per barrel. And that wraps it up for us on Business News this morning. I am Alfreda Abe Basi. Business Insight continues with Adesua Iromoseli. Stay with us. Thank you very much, Alfreda, for that news update. It was quite informative. Welcome to you, our viewers. This is Business Insight. I'm Joy Adesowa Iramosele. And of course, you know, on Business Insight, we give you information about business, which is our core here at Souk News. You know, it's about business and economic development. And today is not going to be different because we are going to be teaching you about something, you know, you definitely want to hear about, because of course in Nigeria today business is everything, and this is something we have been talking about for a while now. We've been dealing on animal husbandry. And animal husbandry, as you know, is the rearing of animals for consumption or for commercialization, you know. And today we'll be looking at fishing. Fish farming. Yes, fish farming. I know that is something almost everybody knows about, but of course you might not know the nitty-gritty of fish farming, and that's what we'll be discussing today. If you've been following our previous series, because animal husbandry has been a series we've been dealing with for quite a while, and if you've been following, you would know we have dealt with you know, cattle rearing. We've done that. We've also talked on goats for milk, raising of sheep for wool, and all of that. But today we are dealing on fish farming, and we are streamlining it to catfish. Yes, catfish farming. And to help us make sense of all of this, we have a guest who is joining us virtually. He goes by the name Olarewaju Saheed. Good morning, Olarewaju.
Good morning. My name is Olarewaju Saheed, CEO, SO Ola Farms and Consults.
Right. Welcome
but
to the
show. I can hear you very well.
Can
you hear me?
Of course, like he said, he is a catfish farmer, or a fish farmer generally, you know, but today we'll be talking to us about catfish specifically. Okay. All right. Mr. Olarewaju, could you know, share some insight with us? What made you go into this business of fish farming?
Hello, I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello. Okay, can you hear me now? Is it better?
I can't hear you.
Okay, you might have to. All right. Okay. Are we good now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, awesome.
Come again, let me.
Could you adjust your mic, your microphone? That might help. Okay, I think we have a little bit of network glitch right there. We'll go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue.
Okay.
All right, welcome back. It's still Business Insight right here on Souk News. And like I said earlier, before we went on that break, we have a guest with us who is going to be talking to us about catfish farming. And that's in the person of Olarewaju Saeed, who is, of course, a catfish farmer. Good morning, Saeed. Can you hear me now?
Good morning. I can hear you.
Mr. Olarewaju, I beg your pardon. Okay, so you want to tell us briefly, give us some insight into why you chose this business. Why catfish farming?
Well, catfish farming is a very profitable business. It's a business that if you lay hands on, you won't regret on it. It's a business that has given me a lot of opportunity. And there are many things in catfish. It gives you time for other activities. You can be doing your farming business and also engage in other business too. And it's a business that you can even set a goal, a target by what you want to achieve or what you need. It's indeed a profitable business.
Fantastic, Mr. Olarewaju. So now, could you tell us what this business actually entails? What does it require? How do you run this business?
Well, the business is, you have, when you say catfish, there are some things that require. One, the seed, the pond, and the market. If you get the theory, you are good to go. One, your pond, your location where you want to set up your farm. It's very important. And among it is your water, and that environment that you want to set your business there must be a drainage. It's such that you don't use your wastewater to pollute the environment. So if you get that one, then you get your fish pond. Then you get a good seed, the feed that you want to stock. Then you get a quality feed that you use to feed them. And the market is available, is everywhere. We have some customers that are looking for fish here and there. We have some processors that are looking to come and buy. You can also process, and you can also add value to your catfish. You can choose to process your fish, dry it, and market it anywhere. People around, your neighbor, your household, your friends, family, and all this international market. You can even export your fish.
Okay, all right then. So aside the eating aspects of fish, is there any other benefits? What are the benefits of catfish generally to a human being?
The feeding aspect.
Can you hear me, please? Okay, I don't know if we have a network issue again. Mr. Olarewaju, could you unmute?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
I can hear you.
I really cannot hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Amazing. So my question was, aside the consumption aspect of catfish, are there any other side benefits to this whole business, aside eating it and selling it for food as well? What else are the benefits? Are there any?
Well, yes, I get you. There are a lot of benefits in catfish farming. One, you can choose to. We are into in advanced stage now that you can do fish. We call it fish cracker. You can add value to your products. We have fish cracker. We have fish cube. We also do frozen catfish now to meet up to the demand of our customer. And you can also do fish cube. And the latest technology in catfish farming business is we are doing canning. We have geisha, we have sardine, we have all this, but we are doing fish and catfish in that brand, and that's the latest. So that gives a lot of business opportunity for catfish farmer.
Amazing, amazing. So now tell me, for instance, I decide to go into catfish farming, and you know, what do you think? Which specific species do you think I should? Are there different species of catfish? First off, if there are, which one do you think is more profitable for someone going into it to make money, you know, and all that, to sell as many as possible and make money? Which specific species do you think the person should go for?
Well, we have three major species of catfish. The first one is the claras. That one is indigenous breed we have here. We have the heteroclaras and we have the heterobrancus. The crossbreed of the heteroclaras, the crossbreed of claras and heterobrancus is what we have heteroclaras. They are all good seeds. They are all good species. It's a matter of choice, the one you prefer to stock. The other breed, they are foreign breed, but our own indigenous breed is claras. It have a good conversion ratio in such a way that within 3 months, your fish is ready to sell. Your fish is ready to harvest. So I do recommend claras, our indigenous breed, for people that are just starting, that they won't start to make money on time. But heteroclaras or heterobrancus, they are also good breed. They also have a good conversion ratio. When they eat, you will see it in them. But it takes time. It takes 3 to 6 months before you can harvest. But by that stage, they will have been very big and you enjoy it. It's a matter of choice. There is no breed of cat or species of catfish that is not okay. They are all good. It's a matter of choice.
All right, all right. So earlier you actually spoke about pond management, and that's what I want us to, you know, zero in on right now. What are the components, you know, that a pond should possess? How do we, you know, erect a pond for this fish? Do I just get a body of water and throw some fingerlings in there and they start growing? How exactly do you go about getting your pond together?
Okay, we have majorly 3 types of ponds. We have some that are, we call it earthen pond. That one is good for people living in a swampy area where they have, should I call it a waterlogged area, where there's a swampy area, so that you can just dig like 4 to 6 centimeters down and the water will come out. Then you create a channel to prevent overflow of water, or if there's a rain, where like a gutter where the water can pass. So that one, it is very good. It's the best way of rearing catfish, because they will live as if they are in their natural habitat, and there is no need of changing water, because we have the land and the sea breeze. There is constant supply of oxygen, and also their conversion ratio is very high because there is enough oxygen for them. So healthy pond to me is the best pond. But for people, or those of us living at upland area, we have concrete pond and we have a collapsible pond. A concrete pond is the one that we use block to mold and to cement it and plaster everything to prevent breakage, then we stock. And the collapsible pond is the one of using of iron and a tarpaulin to build the pond. We call it collapsible in such a way that we can dismantle it and go and erect it in another place. That's the advantage of that one over a concrete pond. A collapsible, you can dismantle it. Maybe you want to change your location, you want to move your farm to another place, we can dismantle it and go and erect it. But in that of a concrete pond, you cannot dismantle it. You only break it and you let go, then you start your farm somewhere else. So it's a matter of choice. Those people living in a swampy area, it is advisable for them to dig some centimeter down, some feet down,
Welcome back. We apologize for that network issue we had there. We apologize and we do hope you accept our apology. It was due to reasons beyond our control. We still have our guest with us, Mr. Olarewaju Said. Mr. Olarewaju, are you still with us? Mr. Olarewaju? Okay. All right, we're still discussing fishing, that's fish farming, catfish farming exactly. And our guest in the house, of course, virtually, is a catfish farmer. And of course, who better to talk to us about this side of business than someone who is already in the business. So we'll just hold on for him to connect. Mr. Olarewaju, can you hear me now? Okay. All right, so Mr. Olarewaju was talking to us about how to set up your pond, you know, how to make sure that your fish can, you know, be accommodated in a specific body of water. And he stated all the ponds available, and there is a particular one he said that is the most effective. That's the concrete pond, where water gets to pass through some kind of pipes and all that, in that the fish feel like they are in their home, they are in their natural habitat. You know, that was where we left off. And of course, I was going to ask him some other questions. I don't know if he's connected now. Okay. All right, Mr. Olarewaju. Please unmute your mic so we can hear you properly.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Is he unmuted now?
Yes, I can hear you.
We still can't hear you in the studio.
I can hear you very well. I've missed the mic.
Amazing. So, sorry for that glitch once again, Mr. Olarewaju. Okay.
It's okay.
So, we were talking on pond management. So now, talking about that, how do you effectively ensure that, you know, that your fish are safe in the pond? Of course, we know there are predators, you know, birds that fly around and all that. How do you keep this fish safe from predators in that, you know, by way of course, managing the pond and all that, and also to, you know, keep the pond safe and clean enough to, you know, can you hear me, please?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Continue.
So I said, how do you keep your catfish safe from predators, like birds flying in the air, you know, who prey on fish? How do you protect the pond from such attacks?
Okay. Firstly, on LT pond, we have something we call a cover net. So we use it to cover the whole pond. It's a net in such a way that if flies, we have birds like a kingfisher coming to eat your fish, it will prevent them. So we use it in both in LT pond and other ponds. We put cover nets to prevent them. And we also have, you can do what we call a scarecrow, like in form of human, you put a clothes, you put a cap, and you put hand in such a way that if birds are coming, they will think it's human being that's there. So it scares them away once the breeze is blowing and the thing is moving. So we call it scarecrow. So that one chase some birds away. So, but majorly, if your environment is okay, you've cleaned the environment and you cover your pond with the cover nets. We call it cover net. Is a net that designed for fish pond, so that birds or other things won't be able to go into your ponds to eat your fish. So that is, if that is put in place, you are good to go.
All right. So now talking about feeding, how do you feed your fish in the pond? what are the feeds? What exactly do they eat? Do I just pour rice inside the water and allow them eat? What exactly do these fish eat? And how often should they be fed?
Okay. It depends on the type of feed you are using. We have different brands. I don't want to mention name. We have different products of feed, but the most important thing is the size of the feed that you want to use for a particular size of fish. So quality feeds are outside there. Just make sure that the feed you are buying, you check the expiring date. If it's within, then you are good to go. But if it has expired, just drop it and go for other ones. Don't buy expired feed. Then their feed range from 2 mm to 9 mm. So from your juvenile to your table side, their feed range from 2 mm the size to 9 mm. So the best time to feed is very early in the morning and in the evening, most especially late in the evening. Don't feed your fish while the sun is at the zenith, because you are adding stress to them. But when the environment is cool, most especially very early in the morning, you can feed them. Then in the evening, you can also feed your fish. 2 times is okay. But if you are using a local feed, it is better you feed either in the morning or late in the evening. You feed them once in a day. You don't feed twice if you are using local feed. So it's advisable to feed either very early in the morning, between 6:30 to 7:30. Feed them before the sun comes out. Then later in the evening, from 7 downwards, at your leisure time. So if you are doing that, you are good to go.
Mr. Olarimaju, so how do you care for your fish and protect them or prevent diseases, you know, and manage as well as treat diseases when they are contracted by this fish? How do you protect your fish from getting, you know, contracting diseases while in the pond? And if they've contracted it, how do you treat them and manage or also manage the disease?
Okay. The best way to prevent disease in fish farming is, if you are using healthy pond, as I said earlier, we change the water in every 2 months. After 2 months, drain the water fresh water will come up. That's, you have treat your fish and you have prevent some disease. And in concrete pond or a tarpaulin pond, we change water immediately once you notice that the water has changed color. It may be every day, it may be every 2 days, it may be every 3 days. It depends on how the size of the fish. At the early stage, you can still wait for 3 days. As they are growing, you increase to every 2 days, and they will get to a stage that you need to change your water every day. That time they are big, and if you are changing your water, then you are preventing disease. That is 1. 2, if you are using concrete pond or collapsible pond, the tarpaulin pond, once you notice that the pond itself is dirty, you wash it. You bring your fish out, you can put them inside bath for some minutes, then you wash your pond thoroughly, then you disinfect your pond using all this. You can use formalin, you can use salt, you put them back. Once you disinfect your pond, put fresh water and return the fish there. Just know that if you want to bring the fish out, not to stress them, you don't feed them that day, so that they won't go too much of stress. So once you're able to do that, it's okay. But if your fish are giving you sign of, maybe some are dying, maybe you have some strange color in their body and it's leading to mortality, so we have different fish antibiotics outside. Just get anyone, I don't want to mention products, just get a fish antibiotics and use the filtration, the dosage that they ask you to use. Some will say 100 ml per 1,000 liters of water. Some will say 50 ml per 100 liters of water. So just use it as it has been prescribed in the drug you are using to do that. And also, we also do preventive measure. Like every month, we give them all these antibiotics. And since it's just for prevention, the dosage is also there. Just follow the prescription. Once you do that, you are good to go.
Thank you very much, Mr. Olarawaju. I would like to hear your final thoughts, and I would also ask this last question. How do I know my fish is ready for harvesting? At what stage do I know that, okay, yes, my fish can come out of the water? And how do I bring them out of the water? What techniques do you use? Can you just be brief? Can you answer this question in like 1 minute so we can round up?
Okay. It depends on your customer demands. There are some customers that prefer there to be one kg of fish. One fish will give you 1 kg. If your fish are into that size, you give them. But there are some of your customers that will prefer 2 fish to give you 1 kilo of 2 fish to give you 1 kilo of fish, and there are some that prefer 3 pieces to give you 1 kilo. So it depends on your customer's demand. So that is when you know that your fish is ready. Just weigh them and tell them, okay, it's 1 fish that weigh 1 kilo, it's 2 fish that weigh 2 kilo, or it's 3 fish that weigh 3 kg of a fish, a kilogram of a fish. So that is where you know your fish is ready to sell.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Olarawaju Saheed, for your time, for joining us on the show. And I'm sure that, you know, all this information you gave right now are very, very crucial, you know, to so many Nigerians who are looking to start up their catfish business. Thank you so much. All right, and on that note, we draw the curtain on Business Insight today. Many thanks for joining us. I'm Joy Adesua Iramosele. Join us again tomorrow for an even more informative session. Good afternoon.